All right, guys, welcome to Trading with Meatball. And it's possible my mentor is gone, and I don't know why, but that's okay. I wish him the best. Darth Trader was the first one that coached me a little bit. And I always say Zach Morris, and it's true. He was the first one to ever send me a message on Twitter because I'm nobody and always was a nobody to everyone. Zach Morris reached out to me and told me he knew I could do this, and I was trading mostly my own picks, but I got my hands on 20 grand a couple years, about 18 months ago, and turned it into 74 grand in 8 days or something. And Zach Morris was the one that patted me on the back. First message I think I ever got from anybody on Twitter. But when I started trading with some of the groups, I ran into Darth Trader and I joined his Discord. I forget the name of the group. I think I know the name, and I sent him a message today asking him if he was okay, but his profile's gone off of Twitter, and he was my first mentor. He was also the only reason I was putting stuff on the Twitter to begin with. And this is my profile. And when I first started posting, the only reason I was posting was for Darth, so that he could see I was making progress. And he would send me a message once in a while telling me he sees the progress and congrats and stuff like that. And I post my mistakes also. There's Zach. He'll be back one day. But Kane Capital I follow, and they were great mentors. And they had a show in the morning called Beat the Bell. And I think one of the guys got sick. And Diamond and Mander are still posting, but they're not doing the show. And they still put out podcasts. You definitely want to follow Kane Capital guys and the Trading Camp and the Beat the Bell show in case it ever comes back. I got some smart ladies now, Mindy and Edgar Smart. But what we're going to talk about is I'm deleting all this stuff that I posted, and these are bangers, man. That flag went up, and there it is crawling out of the flag, and we'll just go ahead and delete that. I wish I could delete everything I've ever put on here, guys. My experience so far is that most people only want you to support their post and like and retweet their posts so that they can build their Discord. And I'm just an old man, and I'm teaching people exactly how I did it, and not a single like is given. And you could check my profile. I posted today. I'm not gonna post, because nobody likes anything I post, and I got one like on that. But I give them bangers. I try to only give them the good ones. And when I go into something like this one, I told everybody when I first entered on this red candle, do not follow me. Okay. And I circled it and I put it on there. But after it went green and it did a retracement and it gave us another green candle, I doubled down and posted that for everybody that's the reversal, and I'm going in again, and this is a good one. And of course it ran. And so I try to only post good picks for everybody, but in most cases, not a single like is given. And here I say, crickets, please tell me somebody got a piece of this. Not a single like, guys, not a single one. And so we started our own Discord today, and Meatball 23, and we put the link on the YouTube and the Twitter. And it's for educational purposes only, but there will be a live trading setup. And I have a corporation, and we'll throw that in there too. It's a piece of paper, but we're not going to post all the bangers for free anymore. Sorry, guys, we had a little interruption. But yeah, I try to give back to the community, guys. I spent thousands of dollars trading with the various discords over the 6 months that I was in the desert. And they don't talk about their misses. Okay. I did not experience one discord that ever discussed their misses. It was always posting the 50 and the 150% gains. But I blew up my account every week for like 6 weeks trading with the different discords and taking the trades that they were taking and then watching them post their victories on Twitter. I never badmouthed anybody, okay, because it was my hand clicking the mouse. But it's a meat grinder, guys. I used to be a stockbroker. We just call somebody else and open a new account. And that's what happens to you when you go into those discords and you lose money. Now, there are some good discords, and if you join my discord, you're going to lose money too because it's gambling and you are gambling. But hopefully, we win more than we lose. My goal is to teach you to pick your own setups like this, and we circle them when we go in, okay? And we learn from our mistakes, like this one. I had picked out this last night. We want you to learn to do this without me, so you don't need me or anyone else, okay? And that's what the purpose of my Discord is. And I'll be posting content and videos I'll still post YouTube videos, okay? But most of the charts and the bangers I give out, it will be for the people that are in the Discord. And I don't care if it's 12 guys. I don't need that for a stream of income, okay? I have a little bit of VA disability. They said I was going to die in 12 months, but I didn't die. And so I'm giving back my knowledge to people. But I also teach part time at the high school. I have an eBay store. We publish books. So I'm not trying to be a millionaire and I'm not trying to pump my Discord. But what I'm telling you is I gave back thousands of dollars to these guys for their Discords. And I liked and retweeted and thanked them and praised them. And not a single person likes any of my posts. And I'm giving them all kinds of great content, showing them how I did it, posting videos about how I did it, and nobody cared, right? And so they also ask for money when their friends and relatives or some worthy cause needs donations. And I donated to the lady that was in a car accident, even though my checking account was negative. I donated and took the overdraft fee. But when I was homeless, or one day, I was one day away from being homeless, and I started a GoFundMe page. I contacted some of the big millionaires that I've been supporting for 6 months and paid money to trade in their Discords. I got zero responses, guys. Zero. Not a single fuck was given. And so I didn't. I didn't even get a response. I didn't ask them for money. I just asked them if they would share my GoFundMe page because I'm gonna be a homeless vet. Nobody gives a fuck. All they care about is for you to put your credit card into their Discord so they could go buy another Rolex. I don't wear a Rolex, guys. Actually sold all my watches on the eBay store after the divorce. I'm just an old man that flips stocks, and I'm going to teach you how to do it. So you don't need me, and you don't need the Lamborghini guy or the Rolex guy, and you don't need to pay anybody. You can hang out with us and trade with us if you want to, and here's why you would do it. And I'll make it cheap. But here's the open this morning. I marked the opening print. This is Rivian. We trade this almost every day. And this is like 15 minutes in. It gave us a little retracement 10 minutes in or 5 minutes in, right? 5 minutes in, right? And I like to wait, but this is FOMO, fear of missing out, and overconfidence because I've been hitting. Okay. So we learn from our mistakes. I went in earlier than I like to, and I had already targeted this as an entry. And I'm not always going to get the entry I want. I mean, it was running and it ended the day right here. And so I was hoping for a retracement. Well, goddamn, we were pretty close. And it took till 11:30 though, so you would have had to wait 2 hours to get to this zone that I wanted to get. It didn't go down here. Generally, when something runs like it did, like this, my general rule is that it'll give up half of what it did from here to here. Or here's the opening print, and then to here. So half of that would be about right in there. So that's why I had it pegged. Generally, a big run it gives up half of what it did, and so this one was pretty strong at the open, and then we got a good dump. I think at 10 o'clock, some asshole from the Fed ran his mouth, and you're gonna get that. And this was today at 10, right? And so tomorrow we have numbers, jobless claims, and PCE coming out at 8:30. Okay, and then another asshole runs his mouth at 9, and then pending home sales at 10. And so the market reacts to these. You can look at this 10 o'clock right here when this asshole ran his mouth, and you can pull up the SPY and look at 10 o'clock, and there you go, dump, 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 right when he talks. See, so we try to avoid things like that. Is what we're going to do in our Discord. And there's some good Discords. There's some good teachers, and I've learned a lot from all of them. But unfortunately, they never discuss their mistakes, and they're always right. And that's my experience. And I wasted thousands of dollars listening to people who are always right on Twitter, and they're always rich and famous. But if you go take the trades with them, and I threw down some money, dude, and I took every trade this guy took one day, and it just blew up my account. And then he posted on Twitter he was up 40%. He posted the one trade he won out of like 12. And we're not doing that, guys. This is why you would be in my Discord. We want to wait. And you might sit there for an hour and not trade because I don't like to trade the open. And this is why. Overconfidence. We've been hitting a lot, and you got a little FOMO. So it was a $17 trade. I didn't blow up the account, but I still violated my principles of, going in at the open. Or did I? Because the other day I took this one and hit it, and this was 20 minutes in, okay? And this one we took over here 5 minutes after the open. And so we do trade the open. but it has to be our setup. And this was below the 20-day moving average, and we had posted the night before that that was our setup. Okay, so if it's our setup and we're looking for it, specifically below the opening print, below the 20-day moving average, then we'll go in. Okay, this was the setup we posted last night, and we got it. And I doubled down right here. This one we stopped out of after we bought it. It did go up, but it stopped out here, and I didn't make anything worth talking about. I actually pulled the stop loss. I'm sorry, and so I think we lost $5 on that because it dumped it here and we let it go. But we like to wait. And sometimes, waiting like an hour would have given us this right here, and we would have gotten faked out and we would have lost. Okay. We're not going to win every time. But planning our entries like this and circling the entry that we want can help us stay away from the FOMO and trading really small. When I trade early, I trade small, small, small because I know I don't like to go in early. Okay. The only exception usually is the Rivian, and this one violates all principles. It was running, it was going through a zone. There's all kinds of reasons not to buy it. This would have been a good entry right here. This would have been a good one right here. And we would have got faked out and the stop loss would have gone off. And that happens, right? But this entry we plotted the night before, and sitting and waiting for the proper entry can really help. And you really should, if you can, um, wait for your entries. And that's the hard thing about the discords is when you pay money to sit in a discord, you want to trade and you want to make money. You don't want to sit there and wait because then you think you wasted your money. All right, well, let's talk about this. Here's my entry on the lemonade today. And this did not take place until an hour after the open. This is a 5-minute chart. Son of a bitch, quit doing that to me. All right, so this one we waited. And we watched it run, and we did not FOMO. There was no fear of missing out. And then we watched it crash, crash, crash. And I want to see a reversal. I don't want to catch a falling knife. And so this second candle right here, this second candle, this green one right here, I got a tail on the bottom of this one, and you can see where it was going yesterday. And if you zoom out, you can just draw a line, roughly what it was doing yesterday, just roughly. And so the tail comes down to that. Okay, so that's good. And I was hoping it was going to reverse, and I did not catch the absolute bottom. I waited till we got the second candle, and because I wanted to confirm the reversal. Okay, and so it did. It went up, and I don't mind telling you guys, I held it, and there was a 20 something, 30% profit. I don't know what it was. It wasn't that much, but I held it. I held it. And the reason I held it is because I think they're going to jack it overnight again. And that's what they did yesterday. They jacked it. You can see the little flag from yesterday on the 5-minute, and they jacked it overnight. And so I'm guessing they're probably going to do it again. We'll see. But you trade the way you want to. What I like to concentrate on is waiting for a good setup. And the SPY was burning people today. Let's look at the SPY. We trade the 20-day moving average, right? Okay, so here's the opening print. We mark it with a black line. Okay, 457. They jacked it up 3 points overnight. Okay, to me, that's just a crash waiting to happen. And sure enough, at 10 o'clock, when that guy ran his mouth all the way down, and then here's the retracement to fake you out, and then again, and it stops at this line right here. What's this line right here? Why did it stop there? Why did it stop there? Oh, son of a bitch. Look at that. That's our line that we drew. Oh, wow. Imagine that. So we're going to learn to draw our own lines, guys. Okay. And that's a trend line that's from the 2021 high. Okay. It's going to have trouble getting over that, guys. And it's going to flirt with it off and on as it has been doing the last 4 or 5 days. This is the 23rd, and today's 6 days later on the 29th. But it keeps going, poking its head over, and then today it did it big time, right? And so it could certainly run to the moon. They're not going to call me and tell me about it ahead of time, right? Because I'm not in your Congress. I'm sure they know. Fuck them. I said it. So anyhow, when it comes down to this line and bounced off, the lines are amazing, guys. I'm just an old man drawing lines, but look how it respects that line that we drew. And you're going to draw your own trend lines, okay? But we're trading the 20-day moving average. We're talking about mistakes. And so look how many times it crosses the average and then chops, 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 killing your time value. And then it goes down, okay? And we will try to avoid the chop okay, by doing things like selling into 20 or 30% gains over and over and over. And you can set a stop loss and you can take a home run, but when you get these movements like this and they reverse themselves, these are 5 minute candles. And so that's about half an hour. And that's like an hour, right? And then chop, chop. And then now you got downward, you got retracement, downward. The retracements are awesome. We look at the retracements, right? If you got this jack up here and that's a retracement, this is a retracement, and this is a retracement at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, logic dictates she's been going down all day. And so if you look down here and you see all this red volume down here at the bottom, it was right here. You wouldn't have that information. Okay, you would have a couple green candles, a couple red. It's very confusing as it chops. But as it goes below the 20-day moving average and it's way below the opening print, those are the types of signals that we look for. Okay. And you will get faked out. Like right here, if we were buying calls as it moves above the average, it moved up a little bit, but not enough to give us a home run. In fact, we could have probably lost money because it chopped sideways and it would have ate up our time value. But using methods like waiting for it to cross, waiting 30 minutes until they dump it, until they show us a trend, right? I don't like to trade right at the open. Sometimes I will, but it's got to be a setup we're looking for or something we picked ahead of time. And so our Discord may be kind of boring for you if you want to trade a lot. There's plenty of guys that got 6 or 8 traders on there for a reason, because they want you to have a hot pick that you can throw money down on, or else people are going to leave their Discord because they think it's not exciting enough. I'll tell you what, there's nothing exciting to me about blowing up a $5,000 account in 2 days, listening to the most famous guy on Twitter, and then watching him post his victory while I'm keeping my mouth shut, not bad mouthing him. Okay, we don't want to badmouth people that provide us free education and free content. Okay, what I'm telling you is that we're not going to be running trades every 5 seconds in my Discord. We're going to be waiting for good setups, guys. Okay, and hopefully making a ton of money and avoiding mistakes. Plotting what we're going to do ahead of time. Speaking of which, let's look at tomorrow. My keyboard's going out, man. It ain't working that good. But we'll take a look at her. Okay. You guys, we'll post a video on that one. This one's getting too long. You can learn to draw your own lines and zones. And yeah, I show my whole screen. I could care less. You can follow us on Twitter, but I'm not posting all my picks like I have been every time I go in. Okay. But you can certainly see what's left. I tried to erase everything I posted up there, so I'm not giving away all my best picks anymore to people that don't even like me. All right, God bless you guys. Good luck.